Graduating from the University of Alberta with a degree in drama and classics was a huge transition in Clayton's life. The blue Reckless Scholar card represents his feelings of having armor to protect him. However, this was transformed into a black part of Clayton's life, as the inability to find a job was quite a burden for him, and after working several retail jobs, he turned from recreational marijuana use to marijuana abuse to allow him not to feel anything. To Clayton, the red card smoke braider represents the enticing aspects of smoking pot. He felt that this was very easy to do, as all of his friends smoked daily, making it a very social and accessible activity. Pot had negative side effects as well, as he depicts through the toxic iguana. From this point, things really began to pile up in Clayton's life. He could not identify with his co-workers at his final job as a pressure tank operator assistant.
I chose Looming Shade. To me, it represents how sometimes I felt like a ghost and that people could see right through me.
Clayton then became unemployed and was later diagnosed with depression. Clayton became overwhelmed with daily tasks, which really dragged him down. The card Infectious Horror really jumped out at him as being the influences who kept smoking all the time, and therefore he cut out this aspect of his life, severing ties with these negative influences that were sending him downhill. Clayton's girlfriend at the time was a positive aspect of his life. They lived together until after he was diagnosed with depression and began to withdraw. Breaking up with her was another major contributor to Clayton's downward spiral, as indicated by the shatter card. Clayton had no routine and experienced feelings of anhedonia. He didn't care about himself and was enrolled in the Choices program led by Gloria, an occupational therapist. Regrettably, even though he stated that Choices was supportive and helped kickstart his life again, the blackness was overwhelming, and Clayton could no longer handle his life, trying to end it by taking copious amounts of Advil, antidepressants, and vodka, from which he passed out.
I was really surprised when I woke up 3 days later. This was the lowest point in my life. I don't even know anymore how I got to that point. All I remember is that I just didn't care about anything, not even myself.
Although this was a negative event in Clayton's life, it also became a major turning point, which he's indicated with the Magma Phoenix card, by rising from the ashes and emerging as a stronger person. He realized that he needed to change and seek help to do so. After everything else had crashed, Clayton still had his insight to form the bottom layer of his personal tower. He realized that he needed to change and not dwell in the past. He continued to attend the Choices program, where his OT Gloria helped him regain control of his life through establishing routine. After Choices, he attended a program called Employabilities, as he indicates with the Archon of Redemption card. Employabilities helped him build skills for finding a job and working, and included a job placement. This made him feel energized and capable, and the veteran swordsmith depicts how he created his own means to help himself, such as whether to forge his way in the world or protect himself from it. After graduating as valedictorian from Employabilities, he took on the world at a job at European Foods. However, poor working conditions made him feel like he was treated worse than a dog, as the boss's dog was literally treated better than the workers. This job really stood out to Clayton as a mindless null. He chose the card Endless Scream to illustrate what he felt like doing after work some days. Quitting his job and returning to a lack of routine led to a relapse of his depression. Fortunately, Clayton soon met his current girlfriend, which he signified as the white card Shepherd of the Lost. She's very supportive of him and brings great joy to his life. She's become a great motivator. He also reunited with his occupational therapist, Gloria. in an outpatient rehabilitation group to help build self-confidence. In this group, each person strives to complete an individual goal that they choose. Clayton sees the green stampeding rhino as not letting anything get in his way with a goal ahead of him. He also began to play the card game Magic: The Gathering. Many Fridays, he and his girlfriend go down to a comic shop where Magic tournaments are held. While they don't want it taking up all their free time, Magic has been a current leisure interest that both Clayton and his girlfriend can enjoy alone or together. Clayton's most recent job is a legal assistant downtown. A friend of his girlfriend was aware of this job, and Clayton's girlfriend encouraged him to apply. When we met him, he had been hired for this job right away and had been working there for 3 weeks. The day that we met him, his boss had found a redundancy in a document that, once taken out, would eliminate much confusion. When he pointed this out to his lawyer, he was very surprised and pleased. Several times a day, that day, the lawyer told him what a great job he was doing and how impressed he was. He said at first it was hard to get into the routine, but now he enjoys it and is feeling less tired in the evenings.
Right now, I feel like I have all the skills, supports, and resources that I need, which is a feeling that I haven't experienced in a very long time.
Looking towards the future, Clayton expresses only that he make a few changes in his routine, mostly with filling his free time with more creative leisure activities. Finally, Clayton has selected the white Nimbus Wings as a card that represents his feelings of leaping out into the world and proudly soaring through life. In the future, he wishes to travel to Greece to experience the history and reignite the interest of his minor in classics.